All right, so today we are filming a quick installation of a Power Frunk. Here is my 2023 Tesla Model Y. We've got a custom wrap on it. We've got a front spoiler, but what we really need to turn this into a futuristic vehicle is a frunk that opens itself. So we've got a Power Frunk set from a company called Tlyard that we're gonna be installing. And to help me install that, we've got my buddy Larry Lee here. He is one of the professional installers in the Bay Area, and he'll be able to come to you and help you install this yourself. One thing that I will say is, yes, this is a kit that you can install yourself, but I'm gonna be filming, so we're gonna have a professional do it for us today, and he'll walk you through all the things that you need to do to get this done yourself, or you can give him a call and have it done by him. All right. So this is actually a pretty nice and simple process. Larry just kind of popped off the grate here, and we're gonna start getting to some of the internals. It's also really nice to have like a plastic pry tool. You can have something like that. Usually comes with a set, and an impact driver definitely helps. So what Larry just did was quickly remove the entire frunk setup. Like I said, I think if you have a professional or someone who's done this multiple times, it is a very quick process. Doing it yourself maybe takes a little bit longer, but overall, I mean, he is moving through this incredibly quickly. And one of the things that I will say is if you watch any of the installation videos online, I think it doesn't really matter which brand you're using, if it's Tlyard, if it's Hancho, or something from Pimp My EV or EV Base. The process is pretty similar. It's still a couple of 10mm bolts to remove the front tray, and then he's going through and removing the original struts. I will say one of the things that's kind of funny is having watched a ton of these videos on YouTube, the installation instructions, the speed at which Larry is moving through this is way quicker than what I've seen on any of the YouTube videos. Yes, maybe the installer is filming and installing at the same time, but this is lightning speeds. So one of the things that you want to do when you're installing this, you want to remove the original mounting pieces for those two struts, and you're going to replace it with something that will hold the new mechanized strut to allow for your automatic frunk to work. I'll give you a look over here as well. Here are all the different parts that Larry is moving through. These little guys are the original struts that come on the Model Y or your Model 3, and then these are the larger mechanized ones that will give you that automatic functionality. And this is the locking mechanism. One of the things that I really like about this that Larry called out is right here you see a safety lever. So to make sure that this thing does not pop open while you're driving when you don't want it to open when the vehicle is locked. And again, giving you a look, this is the one that just comes standard in the Model Y. It is a tiny little thing, and it does a great job of opening and closing your frunk, and it's designed for long-term durability. So when you take a look at these from Tlyard, these much larger, thicker mechanized struts, it's probably safe to say that these will last a good amount of time. So right now, Larry is putting this into those original positions to hold the strut in place. So as Larry is doing the left side, I just want to talk a quick bit about the premise around all of these upgrades that I'm doing to the 2023 Model Y. I think one of the big things for me, especially buying and moving into the EV space, is I kind of want a pretty futuristic car. One thing that I have noticed about the Model Y, although it is one of the most popular EVs out there, is it is lacking in a lot of luxury features, right? It is a great, fast, incredibly fun vehicle, but the interior is a little bit lacking. I think the polish and the finish is not on par with some of the other cars that I've had in the past, like a Mercedes or a BMW. So I've just been investing time and money into upgrading elements that I think should be in a higher end electric vehicle. And a Power Frunk is absolutely one of them. I like the idea of having extra storage space. I know a lot of people don't use the Frunk a lot because of the pain of manually opening and closing it carefully. So having a Power Frunk gives you access to this space a lot more easily. And that's kind of one of the reasons why you get an EV, because you don't have a classic combustible engine here. So you get that extra space. And if access to that space is a pain, you're not really going to use it as often. But for me, this is a travel vehicle. I use it for road trips, I use it for everyday stuff. So I think having the Power Frunk is going to be a great upgrade and makes this thing feel more like a vehicle of the future, more like a spaceship of sorts. So I'm gonna see if I can give you guys a closer look. So Larry's installing the other side, that mounting plate that I was talking about that allows you to easily secure the automatic struts. And now he'll go ahead and pop in the first strut. So let me give you a closer look at this strut. So as you can see here, you've got these little entry holes for the ball joints. One on the trunk itself and one aligned to the new plate that Larry installed. And again, these get wired back to the main computer unit. Again, it's also so surprising, I'll tell you this, that I haven't seen this in a lot of the videos. It's just like the stark difference between what comes in the original versus these like mechanized struts. Like, I'm sure this is rated for a ton of use and weight, but it's pretty tiny and dainty. And compared to these, makes me feel pretty confident that this will hold up well to lots of use, at least a year or two before it needs to be replaced. I'm assuming these last probably longer than that, but who knows? And one of the things I was just talking to Larry about is I think no matter which brand or company you go with, it's a pretty simple concept. You'll get the two power struts, you've got the cabling power source, the ground, as well as the locking mechanism here. One thing that I do like, Larry mentioned about this particular install from Tlyard, is that this locking mechanism does have the safety lever. So with the safety lever, that just means that if you automatically close the frunk and for some reason something is blocking it and it doesn't close properly, that safety lever will indicate to the Tesla that the trunk is not closed, so you don't end up driving off. Very similar to what happens when you don't have a power frunk and you go to close your trunk. If you don't close it properly, the Tesla's computer will let you know that it is not closed. So that is a great addition. And that also tells the computer not to automatically open the frunk when triggered while driving. And now we've got cable management all set. We're just clipping off the extra pieces. We've zip tied all the cabling, and this looks so much neater and cleaner than when we started. So like I said, once you get everything installed, you're ready to get everything back into place. All right, we were just testing from the inside. Boom, we have latch. That looks good. And auto open. Got our front rack going in. Nice. And it always amazes me how Teslas are built like Legos. It's just these big pieces that pop into place, some clips, a few screws, honestly, but it's such an interesting method of building. Absolutely insane. And that's it. That's the whole frunk unit reinstalled. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, and then 6 screws. Really quite simple. And the last piece. Everything is so flush. One thing that I will mention, Larry pointed out, is when you're testing the Power Frunk without the frunk installed or any of the interior pieces, that it may look a little bit more recessed, but once he installed the trunk tray itself, everything fell into place, the right friction points were in place, and this is completely flush now. Oh man. So nice, one step closer to building a vehicle from the future. Obviously, this is connected directly to the Tesla app. So from here, I can open the Power Frunk using the app, and I can also close the frunk. All right, so the Power Frunk is installed. I think from the time Larry showed up to right now, it's only been about 40 or so minutes. The whole install was incredibly quick. That is the huge benefit of having a professional in your area, especially one that can come out and install things for you. A couple things that I will say is if you do need Power Frunk services, no matter what brand, if you're buying Hand Show, if you're buying Tlyard, if you're buying something from Pimp My EV, EV Base, whoever, Larry can install it absolutely no problem. The one that I have installed, this is from Tlyard. Larry also offers services beyond just the Power Frunk. So I will be giving Larry a call when my Pimp My EV custom steering wheel comes in so that we can get that installed as well. But anything you see on the Hand Show websites or any of these Tesla third-party accessory websites, Larry is able to install. And if you check out his website, I'll leave that in the description below, you can actually purchase the products directly from Larry, plus his installation services. So he'll come by, he'll bring the Power Frunk, the steering wheel, if you want a yoke, if you want LCD screens installed, if you want any custom upgrades, he'll come with the product, install it, and you'll pay a single price. Like I said, I will put his information in the description below. And again, the install on this was incredible. I think for a lot of you, yes, you can do this yourself, but if you have somebody in the area like Larry, I would definitely consider that. And so awesome. Open and close. One of my absolute favorite upgrades of all time. All right, and that is the install of the Power Frunk from Tlyard. If you guys like this content, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I will be coming out with more content just like this. There will be a discount code in my description for the Tlyard Power Frunk, all of Larry's information as well. So catch y'all in the next one.